Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about something that we definitely discussed before, but now what was speculation is being openly talked about. So, we're going to run through it with the newer information that kind of highlights the situation. So, we are going to talk about the inevitability of Iran. Okay, so if you don't remember, it was not too long ago that an Iranian diplomatic outpost, and there were questions about why some people were using that term. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that perhaps that particular facility was used primarily for intelligence gathering, intelligence operations. One thing to note about that is that it doesn't matter. That doesn't change the framework of what occurred. And the two countries that are at the top of the list of countries that don't get to complain about diplomatic facilities being used for intelligence work are the U.S. and Israel. Most countries do it, and the U.S. does it a whole lot. So that's why that term is being used. It's not a, it is definitely not a thing that suggests it was okay and still like that it was somehow within international norms. It is not. Other countries really don't make that determination. It was part of their diplomatic complex. So, but just as a clarification of that term. Okay, so that strike occurred. The assumption, I don't believe it's actually been confirmed, but everybody in the room knows how it happened. When it occurred, we talked about it is incredibly unlikely that Iran just lets this go. That's not something that was likely to occur. U.S. intelligence has come to the same conclusion. They are referring to a strike by Iran, some kind of response, as, quote, inevitable. It's going to happen. Now, as soon as it occurred, the Biden administration reached out to Iran and was like, yeah, this wasn't us. We didn't even know about it beforehand. It is unclear whether or not Iran is going to accept that explanation. So there is a possibility of the response being directed at both the U.S. and Israel. We also now know that this was brought up during the phone call between Biden and Netanyahu. At least we've been told that it was. When we talked about it the first time, we talked about the potential of this causing it to flare into a regional conflict. The assumptions that were made at that time about the people who stopped it, the U.S. diplomatic team that stopped it from flaring into a regional conflict early on, being less than happy about the situation, that appears to be accurate. So there are moves to kind of protect the U.S. in that region right now. Kind of elevate security, throw up some roadblocks. The widespread situation, like the overall picture here, is that the United States is still trying to avoid the regional conflict. That's not something the U.S. wants. We have talked for years about the long-term strategy of the U.S. when it comes to deprioritizing the Middle East. I would imagine if a regional conflict occurs, there will be those people who are arguing to make it a short-term goal and basically say, this is not our problem. I don't know how successful they would be at arguing that. Because at the same time, they would have to basically make the presentation that, okay, we're going to deprioritize here the money that is going to be saved here. We're going to invest in transitioning in these energy sources and so on and so forth. It wouldn't be a decision taken lightly. But I do not believe, in fact, all evidence suggests that the Biden administration does not have the appetite, the desire to be drug into a regional conflict in the Middle East. So it was speculation before, but now there is reporting about the phone call, about the moves to secure the various installations, about the concern about a regional conflict. All of this is now being reported on. So the speculation, which is, I mean, it's obvious stuff, but it's now confirmed. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.